It's the Fear Central Podcast.
Hey, fellow horror fans, welcome to the Fear Central Podcast. My name is Mike, and
Heather.
Chris.
Joe.
Paul. Yeah.
Glad to see you, Paul.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So we've been gone the last couple of weeks. Besides what's going on with the rest of the world, which we'll get into in just a moment, we've also been working on towards doing our own short film. So we've been in preparations for that and working very hard to get that going. So that's kind of taken a little precedence over,
Should we give them a little, teaser?
But,
I will tell you that part of it, walking through my kitchen
Scared the hell out of you?
at night, kind of caught me off guard because I forgot it was there. And so all of a sudden I just see
the thing.
that out of the corner of my eye. And let me tell you, at 3:30 in the morning when you're getting up to get a drink, yeah, it'll get you.
You just warmed my little blackened heart.
It was great.
It's so wonderful when you hear something that scares the shit out of people.
So that's what we've been doing. That's part of the reason amongst what's currently going on with the rest of the world right now, which we hope everyone is staying safe, keep it clean, keeping your social distance.
Use your Barbicide.
Hand sanitize yourself. Dip yourself in hand
You're
sanitizer.
too close to me.
Don't be grabbing 80 cases of toilet paper because you're not
Stop
going to
licking the
shit
damn
that much,
toilet seats and doorknobs. I mean, come on. Your mom raised you better than that.
I need those TikTok views.
No, you
all
don't.
All the sanitary things that we were taught as children.
It's the
Wash your
hashtag unsanitary
hands.
challenge.
Use the hand sanitizer.
No.
Don't be closer than 6 feet away.
Stop kissing everybody.
Don't kiss.
Yes.
Don't handshake. Right now, we're kind of in uncharted territories for us. So
just do like the Vulcans.
Just
Live long and prosper,
Live long
baby.
and prosper.
Just
That's a great way to.
There you go.
use common sense, people.
It's taking a little bit for the hand motion to
That's
get
'cause
there.
I can't talk today.
Yeah.
And it's-
Nobody
okay.
needs 75 rolls of toilet paper or 17 cases of water.
No.
Unless you have a
However am I
house
gonna
full of
build-
17,
I'm
there's
just
no reason that you need that.
No.
Be socially responsible.
Yes.
Yes.
Put your house rolling on a hiatus for a little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
But the great thing is, being that everyone should be in isolation, it gives you plenty of time to catch up on podcasts like ours.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can do that by actually going over to
Binge.
our website, fearcentral.net, and we've got all the links there. If you would like to subscribe to us, give us a good rating and a review. And that way you can also keep up with what's going on when we come out with new shows. I will say that we live in a very small community out in rural middle of nowhere, so we're not like in some of the bigger cities where there is a lot more concern.
Texas
It
Chainsaw
is
Country.
actually, there
that's what
was
it-
one confirmed case in 2 counties over.
2
But
counties?
not in
Two
our
counties?
But if you go
county.
that way, it's
like a blink
Yeah.
and a
To the
blur.
right.
But don't
anyways.
step to the left.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
So
it's
therefore-
close. It's closer than I'm comfortable with.
So therefore, we
Well-
thought this week we would go on and revisit horror movies and probably movies in general that touch base on infectious diseases and the such.
Virus.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the chaos that it ensues.
Very much so. Start with yours?
Yeah. So my pick for this is Contagion.
That's a great movie.
It is a great movie. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
There's some parts that make you go, ugh.
Now, you doing Contagion or Contracted?
I mean, Contracted. That's
Contracted.
I was about to say, it's the Soderbergh film?
no,
no.
Contracted.
Wow,
Sorry.
Contracted.
Very crazy on that.
Both of those films were really good.
Both of them were really good. Contracted was one that didn't get a lot of
I think it was one of those that went more straight VOD than
straight
it did theaters.
VOD, and it was one that I just kind of was flipping through one of the streaming services, and it popped up, and I thought, hey, I'm going to watch this because I'm that person. And good or bad, I do. And so I found this one, and yeah.
You're that person? What type of person are you, according to this?
I'm definitely not the contracted person. So, what else do you want to know about my movie?
Do
The plot?
you know the plot?
I do know the plot. So this young, probably 20-something girl goes to a party. She's drugged and raped and contracts what she thinks is an STD, but it is so much worse.
Pregnancy.
Yeah, pregnancy.
Yeah, pregnancy, that's it, yeah.
That shit stays with you for 18 years.
So there's all these rapid, drastic organic changes to her body, like her fingernails fall off, and that is a really gross scene to just watch her pull her fingernails off. It's really gross.
Yeah.
And so like the next 72 hours are gruesome and pitiless. I mean, it's gross. Some of the, hold on, let me show the picture of her face. And she's raped by a morgue worker who has come up with this like contagion that he gets from having sex with dead bodies. So it's very, yeah, it's a great, and this is what she looks like by the end of the film.
Oh.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, I mean, that's the cover, so I gotta imagine it's worse than that in the film.
Oh, it definitely
Oh,
is.
yeah, it gets more
it gets really bad.
It gets way worse than that.
But she's going through a hard time. Her girlfriend leaves her, and she goes to this party, and so one night stands, not the best idea.
No.
Yeah. You know what the
necrophilia is not the
tagline
best
is.
idea.
What?
The tagline is actually not your average one-night stand.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like it's some sort of rom-com.
Yeah.
It definitely
It follows,
is not.
Starring Ashton Kutcher.
Well, I mean,
As the hapless morgue worker.
Oh.
And you know how like you see like the parents' guide, right? And they've got the different colors like green and light yellow and then orange and then red is the worst.
Yeah.
Every category is red or orange in
Yeah.
this movie. So it is not for children. But
Okay.
yeah, so
so you're not allowed to watch it, Mike.
Sorry. I thought I was old enough, but I guess not.
No.
So, yeah. It's a great film. They did a Phase 2. Second film, Phase 2.
they did Phase 2. I didn't care for it as much as the first one.
They called it Phase 2.
Yes.
Yeah,
Contracted
because
Phase
Are they
2.
trying to model it after the Human Centipede movies?
no.
Well,
Don't
This
think so.
the first one had to do with a girl. The second one had to do with a guy in somewhere else.
Okay, so the basic storyline for the second one is the character Riley searches for a cure to the virus that took over Samantha before it consumes him and the entire world.
Yeah.
And it's shot just as well. I mean, it's not like it's a bad film. Like, some sequels
But
are
it
just
is
like,
very-
why did you make this?
It is, well, and the first film was, I mean, it's like 84 minutes long, and it was like, it only worldwide grossed like $58,000. So it's not a big budget movie, but it is worth the watch if you are into infectious disease movies.
okay.
So,
Okay. Chris, you got one?
Yes. Came from Robert Rodriguez,
Okay.
and it's part of the Grindhouse kind of family.
The double
and
feature.
It's Planet Terror.
Strange noises are amongst us. Planet Terror.
It's already
Robert
started.
Rodriguez from
Yes.
the Grindhouse double feature.
Pretty good. Basically, a bioweapon is released, and it turns everything into zombies or zombie-like creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Starred Rose McGowan, Freddie Rodriguez, Michael Biehn, quite a few others.
Michael Parks.
Bruce Willis, who was only on set for
He was
2
only
days, but they made it look
set,
like he was
yeah.
there the entire time?
Right.
This is
Yeah.
The
because he
movie's
wore a
based
mask.
in Texas.
Yeah.
It's based in Texas. The soundtrack's pretty good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It has Too Drunk to Fuck on there, and
Well,
Oh,
your favorite
and-
part is all the blisters and boils.
I
and-
loved the blisters and boils.
And-
When I see something that's infectious, I want to see the squishy and the pop and the
Oh.
goo, and
It was very.
I
very
really
sad.
want it
On
to
the
be
cast
visceral.
list, we forgot my favorite character,
Which one?
Who's out?
Jeff Fahey.
Oh, yeah.
Always working on his barbecue sauce the entire damn movie.
Yes. And
I want that
love
It's a
recipe.
true Texan.
Well, and I love the fact that Rose McGowan was a go-go dancer with a machine gun leg.
Yeah.
By
she
halfway
wanted-
through.
she
Yeah.
wanted to be
it
a
was a sword
comedian.
leg for a little bit too, wasn't it?
It was her aspiration to be a
But she wasn't a
comedian.
good go-go dancer because it's go-go, not cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. She was dating the director, so I mean, just
Did you hear about her casting in that movie? That's an epic story.
All right,
Is it?
come on.
So if you know, I have to drop an uncomfortable name when it comes to the movie industry.
No.
Weinstein.
Yes.
Oh.
McGowan was one of the accusers.
Yes.
She was dating Robert Rodriguez, and Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, who were like basically being given carte blanche by the Weinstein Company to do things. Rodriguez hears about what she's claiming that Weinstein did in the early years, and he basically just kind of elbows his way in at a dinner party saying, hey, we're working on that movie that we were told you about, Grindhouse, and everything. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, and I've got a perfect leading lady. Hold on, I'll get her right here. And he puts Rose McGowan in front. He's like, she's perfect. She's gonna be my star for this vehicle and everything. And Weinstein was like, okay. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Shove it to you.
I don't know if I want to go yay Rose or yay Robert or ha ha.
Yeah, both.
Weinstein.
I mean-
Because they shoved it in his
not Jay
face.
Weinstein, no.
No,
Definitely
ha, ha.
not
No.
Jay Weinstein.
No, not.
Boo. Boo Weinstein.
Boo Weinstein. Very much boo. But I remember Mike got it because he was very much into Robert Rodriguez's movies
Who?
at the time, and
I
I had too much to drink tonight. To be
We have
honest,
all
Robo
had a
Rodriguez.
Robo Rodriguez.
There you
Robo
go.
Rodriguez.
And he was like, "You got to sit down. You got to watch this with me." And I was like, "Fuck, here we go. All right, another Machete movie." I was pleasantly surprised.
It's
and
been a
I
long
loved
time
it.
since I've seen that movie.
I
Like
have-
a long time.
I have the double feature on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. Like
It's
it's
amazing.
released in two versions. They have the 20-minute longer version by itself, or
Right.
the hour 21 that's part of the double feature.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know which one I like better on that one.
It seems like
I
the
like the double feature
It
better.
seems
The double
sort- it's-
feature works better.
It clips on at a good pace on the double feature.
Right.
Yeah,
especially that
which
one.
is what we watched it on.
Yeah.
So, but I just the whole scene where he's sitting there in the ER and the doctor's taking a look at the tongue and he's squishing it and it pops. I'm like, yes.
And and there's that wonderful scene where the attending doctor is just looking through half fake, half real disease photos on that screen.
Yes. But Joe's favorite part. Let you tell that.
is the director's best friend and co-conspirator Quentin Tarantino when he was attacking the two female main leads and going to get his, and then he was part of the infection, but it was staved off by the gas mask, but they took it off to get his, and then parts started falling off of him, melting away.
Pants around his ankles and things start falling out in between his legs.
And he's still coming after her.
Yeah, because I don't care if that fell off. Yeah,
Nah.
Yeah.
So something interesting I was just seeing here is that when he first came up with the idea for it, he did that while he was making The Faculty.
I love that movie.
That was such an
I
amazing
love
movie.
that movie.
He told Elijah Wood and Josh Hartnett that zombie movies were about to come back in a major way, and he wanted to be there first when it happened, so he prepared a script. He only got as far as the first 30 pages before he got stuck on ideas, and when he got attached to other projects, the zombie craze happened, just as he predicted, where he later commented, "I knew I should have made my zombie film."
But then he wouldn't have had Fergie in it.
I know.
You leave Fergie alone.
No brainer.
You leave Fergie alone.
Yeah, the tagline for that is just fully loaded.
Yes.
That works.
It's amazing.
Fully loaded. I don't even-
It's a recommendation for watching the movie.
Yep.
Another little useless tidbit of information. It says while on set, Robert Rodriguez would play the soundtracks from Escape from New York and The Thing to set the mood for the movie.
Yes.
That
nice,
makes sense
nice.
because the score is very Carpenter-esque.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much.
So I've always wondered, is Freddie like his brother or cousin, Freddie Rodriguez?
No, but his sisters are all over that movie.
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah.
I knew his sisters helped him. Some.
Yeah, the crazy
Babysitter
babysitter twins are his younger sisters. The cop is the middle sister.
Yes.
So
hey, you
Rebel-
know, if you got family, use them.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yes. They're very photogenic.
Yeah. Well, his whole family, because from what I understand, one of his sisters is also a musician and does touring and stuff.
Mhm. Well, Robert Rodriguez did this music on that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he
Thanks,
does
Sam.
on most of his movies. At this point.
Which
There's
he-
a couple
he
of
did
songs
not
on
know
here
how.
that were not.
He learned to play guitar after making El Mariachi.
Well,
But I know he did music on Sin City. Was I think the first one that he did?
Yeah,
One?
probably.
Yeah,
quite
which
epic.
I like that
Yes.
rock infused jazz type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Body count on Planet Terror on the Planet Terror segment is 281.
Makes sense.
Yes.
So there's a lot of chaos in that movie.
Lots
Oh, yeah.
of chaos.
Lots.
Cringiest moment in that entire movie
Did
to
they say
me.
how many genitals were crushed?
They do not. They just
How many
feel-
balls were in that jar?
Yikes.
Wow.
That was a point, Nat.
Cringiest moment of the entire movie is whenever Marley Shelton gets her hands injected, and she tries to drive off,
Yes.
slips
Yes.
slips and breaks her wrist in the car door. I'm like, oh,
I'm like you. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. I don't remember all the parts, but yeah.
there's a lot of needle play.
No.
There's a lot of needle
No.
play with Marley Shelton.
I do
I
remember.
had 3 friends.
I had 3 friends. When you see my yellow friend, you'll never see me again.
Yeah, I do remember the part Joe was talking
Oh, my.
about with the droopy schlong.
Oh, my.
Droopy schlong.
It's like, I appreciate your service to the U.S. military. God bless you.
Yeah.
May you rest in peace.
So, any other comments on that one, honey? No?
No.
What do you got, Joe?
I'm going to dig deeper. It's a movie called Pulse,
Okay.
the original,
The original, which was
Japan.
made
Cairo.
Japan.
made in Japan.
Kiyoshi Kurosawa is the director.
I'm relying on Paul to fill in the gaps.
I don't know. It might be more fun to just let you go through
We've
it.
had way too much alcohol tonight.
well, I mean, but that's saying it was a good.
It's a
film.
very artistic and very subtle, ambiguous horror film.
Yes, but it definitely had that element of contagion, and
It's not an actual virus. We're talking symbolically here.
It's symbolic, but like yes, into it later on in the movie. But it was about people that get sick. They turn into shadows, or they don't have shadows, and then they start getting sick, and then something to do with dust.
Our shadows
the two
have no
groups of
shadows,
friends
and we're dust.
of people.
No, hold on. Let him finish what he thinks this movie is.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay. These people get sick.
Sick.
And then they see the shadows.
But they're
then-
not shadows.
But then if they're friends see the shadows, that's a bad thing. because
Just describe movies we haven't seen.
well, I did see it, but it's been a
So
while.
it's like a Japanese Groundhog Day.
Well, very close.
What's it about? It's about 2.5 hours.
But seriously, it's about the process of getting sick and alienation, and then the eventualities of sickness, and you befall that ailment. And
Would you like me to read the actual plot for the movie?
I would appreciate. Yeah.
After one of their friends commits suicide, strange things begin happening to a group of young Tokyo residents. One of them sees visions of his dead friends in the shadows on the wall, while another's computer keeps showing strange ghostly images.
Yeah.
Is their friend trying to contact them from beyond the grave, or is there something much more sinister going on?
So, to get why Joe selected this movie would be a major spoiler for said film.
Okay.
True enough, but
So, the film relies on that it's that group of friends, and they all start like seeing these visions over time. Once anyone sees these ghosts, they start feeling the loneliness that's come with it, because the idea of ghosts are basically they're trapped in our realm. They can't really correspond. They can't really reach out to anyone.
Isolation.
And it leads to a sort of lingering depression, which ends up resulting in the person just phasing out of existence and becoming one themselves.
Yeah.
At some point in the movie, it skips ahead an indeterminate amount of time. Like, you don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like months, but honestly, they say it's so fast it could have been weeks.
Right.
Tokyo becomes a wasteland.
Okay.
Like, it is just barren.
There's not many Japanese movies that doesn't make Tokyo.
I'm not even going to attempt the Japanese
Are you going to speak it to
tagline.
us?
I'm not, but I will read the.
Just do it.
No.
Do it.
No. The English translation is
No,
"Do
no.
you want to meet a ghost?"
Yeah.
I personally don't.
I do not either.
So I personally recommend the movie, but it's like if you think you've seen it because you've seen the American version, no,
Very different.
Very different. Kiyoshi Kurosawa makes movies he makes feel bad movies.
Oh, feel bad movies. Okay.
Because that movie is all about depression and the idea that there is nothing after life.
True
Oh.
life.
It is straight up, death is nothingness.
Now, is it found on VOD, or can you find this one easily?
It pops up every so often. It might be on Shudder because Arrow released it on Blu-ray.
It's
Okay,
definitely
okay.
available.
Do you know if that would be English dubbed or?
It will be subtitled.
Subtitled.
I've never seen a dub for this movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Just trying to give the audience, a chance
Yeah.
to go.
Not on
you know,
subject at all, but I also recommend Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure.
Cure.
Sounds like it should be related, but
It's not.
it's not.
Same vein.
Actually, in the symbolic way you said it, it would fit, I guess, the subject matter.
So
but
that one also has shadows that are shadows. That,
no, that
there's
one is
sick
about
and-
people, a rash of people killing their loved ones. And it
Okay.
all seems to relate to this hypnotist who is kind of hiding some dark secrets.
Oh, okay.
It is.
So more
It is
spiritual.
it's a better movie in my opinion, but it's a much more uncomfortable movie.
Okay.
Like that one makes you feel terrible.
So that one
afterwards
moves more into the psychological, spiritual, supernatural.
But
It's all about the bad things of being human.
Ah, okay.
But it's definitely But both films are really good.
Okay. What you got, Paul? What's yours?
I've been struggling.
Have you been struggling?
Heather's suggestion made me remember a movie I like, but I'm pretty sure we've talked about. Of course, I think we talked about Contracted already too.
yeah, we
but
did.
Pretty sure we did.
I gotta say, it's gross, but it stuck with me. I really like Raw.
Raw.
Yes.
Okay.
Raw is really
Yes.
good. Like it sounds so cliche and cheesy because it's like vegan goes to a medical school where they're doing a whole bunch of awful things and hazing practices, and she ends up getting fed raw meat during one of the hazing practices, and it
Contaminated.
Without revealing the whole plot, she's a vegan or vegetarian because her family has made her so.
Yes.
Well, there's family background that is the cause of them being vegetarians.
Yes.
So being fed meat
Triggers
this and has very bad consequences with scissors at one point.
Very animalistic.
It is
behavior.
very animalistic.
Okay, so the actual plot summary is a young woman studying to be a vet develops a craving for human flesh.
That's not much of a tagline,
Yeah.
but
Well,
that really
that's the
has
plot summary. The tagline is, "What are you hungry for?"
Yeah.
yeah.
There are a lot of trigger warnings for that movie, especially whenever the sister enters the picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It was very well done. It was
It's
very.
very solid. I put it on the same wavelength as Teeth, which I also kind of really
yeah.
like.
Teeth was kind of funny.
Raw is not funny.
No,
but
it
There
does
is
sound
no
funny.
fun in
What's
Raw.
the director's name?
Garnas Maridier? Or no,
Julio.
Ducournau.
Yeah.
Um,
Very solid.
but Garance Mariella. So is this French?
It's very
yes,
French.
it's very French.
I was wondering with the names. I was like,
And
looks like a lot of French names.
If any of our listeners have seen French horror films, but not this one, yes, it's just as sadistic as most French horror films are.
They are so sadistic.
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, you know, there's certain cultures that just, like, pervade. Like, you know, America has its own brand, just like France has its own brand, just like Spain has its own brand. And
Yeah,
Spain makes you feel sad.
Spain
France
is sad.
sadistic.
France is very sadistic.
Yeah.
Well, this movie
And-
has gotten 22 wins and 43 nominations in various places.
Yeah, it's really worth a watch. It is subtitled, but
Okay.
it's
a quick
still
watch.
Very
though.
solid.
it is a quick watch. It's not super long. It's like 99 minutes.
Yeah, and it feels even faster.
It
than
does.
that.
It really does.
It really does.
So
but
it won Best Director at the Austin Fantastic Fest.
Awesome, fantastic.
It won the
two stories.
Fapresci Prize at Cannes.
Okay. I don't know what that prize is.
I
but
don't either.
It's nice that it got something at Cannes.
Yeah. The CIFCC Award at the Chicago Independent Film Critics Circle Awards for Best Foreign Film. So it's done pretty well. Came out in 2016.
yeah.
Yeah. Very solid.
And if you're wondering, and you haven't listened to the show a whole lot, the reason I keep asking all the questions is because I usually don't watch a lot of horror, foreign film.
Yes.
Primarily because I'm not that great of a reader, so half the time
So-
I'm reading
yeah,
the
so
subtitles
this-
versus watching the film.
Yeah, so tonight we're just going to go all foreign films thrown at you.
Yeah, except for Chris.
And mine wasn't
Oh yeah,
foreign.
and yours.
I
But yeah,
can give you a
Joe and Paul are
foreign
going to throw foreign at me. So.
I mean, we can totally throw some more foreign ones.
Oh, I'm sure you
I
could.
have to have
The
something.
host.
So I do. That's why I always
There's
ask
a
if it's
Japanese
English
one called
dub because
Infection. I don't remember it, but I remember liking it.
what?
It's a Japanese horror film called Infection. I don't
Infection?
Yeah, it was pretty good, but I don't remember it. It's been years.
Yeah. So we had Contracted and Planet Terror, Pulse, Raw. Almost sounds like Pulse Raw. It's okay. No. And so I'm going to bring up a really great one that's actually in the process, potentially right now with everything going on. It's probably put on hold. The Stand, Stephen King. The Stand.
Yes.
Amazing story.
He's
The book?
actually come out on Twitter recently and said no. The current virus is not like the Stand.
It's not the super flu.
Not the super.
Not the super flu, no. I have not read the entire book because it's huge.
It is fantastic.
So
Start
I'm
to
sure
finish,
I'm missing a lot
it is,
from the series.
Oh, you are missing so much.
Master King.
Isn't it actually
As best.
shorter than the re-release of It, though?
Is it?
They did do
The
producer's
time
cut.
is shorter
They
on
did
the
do an
Audible.
extended cut of it, so it's like a little bit longer now than it used to be.
Right.
So
Hold on, I can tell you real fast.
Okay.
See, I'm big on audiobooks. I love them. I listen to them all the time, especially King ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
You've listened to Stephen King's It like, 20 times now?
I've listened to it at least that many times,
Yeah.
and it is long.
Yep, she threw a very uncomfortable quote at me the other night while I was here.
I did, didn't I? It was
It's
fantastic.
like, remember what that's from? And I'm like,
I will.
we get out of the tunnels.
no, it was a
no.
quote from the Black Spot chapter.
From the black. I will regale you with it after the show. Yeah, you can't do that on air.
No.
Hold on. Let's
Dramatic
see.
reading from.
While she's looking that up, for those that don't know, The Stand, plot summary is after a deadly plague kills most of the world's population, the remaining survivors split into two groups, one led by a benevolent elder and the other by a maleficent being,
Yes.
to face each other in final battle between good and evil. The tagline is, "The end of the world is just the beginning."
Beginning what?
I don't know.
Part
It's-
of the epic Dark Tower saga.
It is 47 hours and 47 minutes long,
Okay.
which is 3 hours, right at 3 hours longer than it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
How many pages is the actual book?
Hold on.
Come
I
on
mean,
now.
got-
if it's longer than it, I mean,
Well, you do the extended version, the one that came out in the early 90s.
but the original was brought out as a TV miniseries, which I think the new one is going to be as well.
It was originally a book.
Oh, it's true. But film-wise, it had a great cast.
What
Gary
station-
Sinise, Molly Ringwald.
What station is it supposed to be on? HBO?
I don't know as of yet. One of the directors wanted to try and get it made as a rated R, so therefore it would have been on cable or VOD.
Definitely.
And the studios wanted to be PG-13, so
Well, if
AMC.
if we're doing MPAA, are we talking about theatrical release then?
it might be.
Okay.
But I think they're still working on. I mean, it says TV series.
Okay.
I don't remember being that hard edge, but it's like, yeah, you could really adapt it to be either way.
So they're showing that the series director will be Josh Boone. I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
The book is 823 pages long.
823. See, Josh Boone did The Fault in Our Stars, The New Mutants, which evidently has now been permanently put on hold.
Yes. Boo.
Stuck in Love, The Pretenders, All We Had. So sounds like he does a lot of rom-coms. Why is he doing The Stand?
Well,
I don't know, you bet
those are
you-
dramas.
You missed the fact that it's post-apocalyptic.
It's true. It doesn't say that, though.
Well, if it's not, there's a problem.
Okay, so the plot summary for the new one,
I'm going to be very upset if it's not
Says-
post-apocalyptic.
after the
Modern-day
world
New
is in
York.
ruins due to a man-made plague,
Set in
a battle
40s
of
era
literally
Chicago.
biblical proportions ensues between the survivors. So they changed the plot line a little bit from the original series.
No. That makes me very angry.
No, they
Why?
did. They
They did.
changed it.
They
Yeah.
changed it.
Back to the...
What?
The original plot line said nothing. It's a disease has taken out most of the population, and what survivors are left are pretty much faced in a battle of good and evil with the two heads of each.
So
Seg.
asking the person that selected and the person that just listened to the audio presentation of it, what was the virus again? Do they explain it?
In the book, no, they don't. It's just They talk about it just being a super flu is what they call it, because it's some sort of, it happens in a military installation and it somehow gets out.
Yes.
It never really goes into what it is other than the super flu.
Yeah.
So
It has a name, though. I saw it a minute ago. I'm trying to remember. No, I'm not going to Wikipedia.
oh, come on.
I know.
Surely everything on Wikipedia is factual regarding viruses and illness
Yes.
right now.
So, evidently, the virus
Captain
in the
Trips.
stand is called Captain Trips.
Yep.
Okay.
A rapidly
works.
mutating flu that ensuing weeks wipes out the world, most of the world's population.
Yes.
So they're
Based on true events.
Based on
No,
true events which
Joe.
haven't happened yet.
Yes.
no joke.
No joke.
No.
We're living in the stand.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're not.
If that was the case, half of us wouldn't be here.
99% of us wouldn't be here because
Yes.
that's what Captain Trips does, is take
Yes.
out 99% of the population.
You don't know. I could be a ghost.
You're pretty solid for a
Of
ghost.
all the ghosts, why would we bring back you?
I like Joe.
Means, sweetie, I love you, but there are other people I would bring back before you. My grandfather being one of them.
Poor Joe.
You would be in the top 5, maybe.
Maybe.
Hey,
Well, we got to bring back some of Heather's people.
I'll throw you in my top 5.
There you go. See?
I'm here on the request of Paul.
Well, you know, you are his hetero
No.
wife mate.
No, no.
So,
I
so
don't
Miss,
spend enough time with you. I'm sorry.
I like Joe.
I
He's
have a
fun.
job. It takes up time.
You know what's
Yob?
I have a
Yob.
job.
You know what's even,
Yob.
you know what's
You know
even,
who I got that from? That one. Right there. I have a job.
so you know what's even better
This
about
isn't
Joe?
a yoke.
do you have to wear your jacket at your job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What my favorite one of the favorite things that Joe does that is fantastic. It's one of my favorite things. Is he makes Chad so uncomfortable, and it is fantastic.
I saw that earlier.
He left you,
It
Joe.
was
I think he's,
wonderful.
I think he's in bed.
Yeah,
I
he
think-
left.
Yep.
Yeah, he crashed.
Oh no! There
Oh,
goes
no,
Joe.
no, Joe, please don't. Please don't. I don't want to bury bodies.
Recording, Joe.
And we're recording.
So, some of the trivia for the stand. The art directors needed to figure out how a magic 8-ball worked for a certain scene.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So they called the toy company, and they were refused to disclose the secret.
Oh,
Yep.
Mystic
We
Secrets.
will not let you know how the 8-ball
Yep.
works.
That's not fair. But what if we need to know?
I think it's just a floaty thing in liquid.
Yeah,
But,
just having
You open it up and it's empty somehow. What?
I was lying, dude. It's like, okay, it's like those little magic baby bottles, you know? They look filled and you turn them, and then all of a sudden they're not
Oh,
filled.
so it's like a clear coat.
Yes!
Yeah, but it's empty inside.
Yes.
and so the bad guy Randall Flagg
Yes.
Yes.
has
Randall
appeared
Flagg.
in multiple novels.
Yes, he
Yes,
has.
he has.
His first appeared in The Stand, and then
Fault
he
in Our
was
Stars.
in
Shh.
The Eyes of the Dragon.
No, wrong series.
Stop
The Eyes of the
Sorry, in
Dragon,
and out.
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower.
He goes by several aliases, often identified by the initials RF.
And The Walking Man.
As of 2017, Eyes of the Dragon has not been turned into a film, but the Dark Tower has, played by Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Yes.
And why you...
The Dark Tower is truly one of the best literary pieces we've had in our modern era. And no offense to anybody that was working on the Dark Tower, which Idris Elba...
Mr. Elba, we love you. Get well.
Yes, please contact us via phone, because
You're wonderful as Shira Khan.
I mean, it's like it was like, because that's the thing. It's like the Dark Tower. Most people don't get that it was kind of a side story to the main piece. If you read the main piece and then watched the movie, you'd get it. I won't go into any more details.
Too
But-
late.
He didn't say he'd make a long story short. He just said he won't go into more detail.
But the Dark Tower is... Even in the Dark Tower, they went through the stand world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I read a chunk... That's the thing.
But see, there's even references to it throughout.
Yeah. Definitely. He makes references throughout the whole continuity. And in the Dark Tower, he definitely goes through that world at one point in the Dark Tower. And it was glorious, and I've technically only read probably 300 pages, which is pretty much the prologue.
Yeah.
But it was a great work. I've seen most of the series, but...
Captain Trips was the nickname of the Grateful Dead guitarist Jerry Garcia.
Okay.
Did not know that.
Was he clumsy?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
let's
exactly
go with
it.
that.
Oops. There's a virus.
There goes Captain Trips again.
Oh, here's some statistics. This one says that the book is 1,141 pages.
Yes.
The script was 460 pages. Put in 6 states, 100 shooting days, 125 speaking roles, 95 scripted shooting locations in 19 scripted states, 8 hours of screen time, over 4.5 hours of music.
And a
Jesus.
partridge in a pear tree.
Why didn't they bring Rob Lowe back?
Why didn't they?
Why didn't we?
I don't
He's
know.
sitting there waiting in
I
Lone
know.
Star.
He's there.
911 Lone Star. He's just
It's
waiting.
like, bring Rob Lowe back to Stephen King in a Stephen King story.
Laws, yes.
Moon. That spells Tom Cullen.
Yeah. The ABC Network originally wanted Rob Lowe to play Larry Underwood. I don't know how that would have worked.
Who?
Yeah.
They
no.
they wanted him to play Larry as opposed to Nick.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Interesting enough, Rob Lowe is actually partially deaf in his right ear. So playing a deaf man was not far off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much of the movie was filmed on the old Osmond sound stages in Orem, Utah. Wow. Just
Sorry.
sounds.
I got distracted by Amanda Freitag.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean...
She is a sweetheart.
Aren't they all?
Stephen
mean,
King,
I
an
suppose-
amateur musician. What are you not doing over there?
I don't know, but he's not maintaining
it's a family
social
show,
distance.
sir. It's a family show.
He is not
Maintain-
practicing social distancing.
Oh, no.
Well, you could light up his life and taser him.
Bzz.
What?
She said use a taser on him.
Oh.
And light up
Yeah.
his life.
Um,
For a
Stephen
whole 30
King,
seconds.
Stephen King, Dave Barry, and Matt Groening included many musical references in the story.
Did you say Dave Barry?
Dave
You
Barry,
say Matt Groening?
yeah.
I'm confused.
The title is based on the lyrics from the Bruce Springsteen song Jungle Land. Springsteen himself inspired the character Larry Underwood. Don't Fear the Reaper, which
Yes.
plays over the opening credits, is also a reference to the beginning of the book.
Yes.
One reference in the film that does not appear in the novel is Randall Flagg's reference to Symphony for the Devil, one which apparently goes right over the head of Lloyd, played by Miguel Ferreira.
Miguel Ferrer?
Yeah. But it does say Dave Barry and Matt Groening. So I guess they have a kind of a music band thing going on. Based on how I'm reading that.
Yep, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Definitely layers the tower. So,
That's real life, though.
Matt Groening is a layer of the tower.
That's the real world, though.
Real life is the tower.
Okay.
So how do we feel that some of the cast members in the new one is going to fit?
I know very few of them.
Yeah.
I like it being more multicultural just because it makes it feel more worldwide,
Right.
because it was a very middle America feeling cast.
Yeah.
In the,
But it was very much a change from the original concept of what they wanted to do a handful of years ago. But I'm open for it. It's if they make it cool, I'm very much open for it. But it's like that, and the tower stuff has been very much in production hell for many years. So if they make it work and make it big and as epic as it needs to be, I'm definitely on board for it.
Okay. So what do you think about James Marsden playing Stu?
No,
You don't think so?
he needs to go back to Sonicland.
You think so?
I'm cool with James Marsden.
Big fan of 27 Dresses, huh?
I love that movie. Stephen King and 27 Dresses. I'm sorry.
That really just caught me.
It
It's
was-
very funny.
It was probably his part in Accidental Love.
Yeah. I accidentally,
He was delightful and enchanted. I'm not going to pretend.
I accidentally loved him in that movie.
Accidentally loved him. Not on purpose. It was an accident. Totally an
Is that a
accident.
quote from your review in the New Yorker?
But no, I mean, I really think that he has the potential to do really great stuff. He was the lead in, there's a lot of people in X-Men, but it's like he was the character most people loved in the comics as Cyclops.
Yes.
It wasn't conveyed to my liking, but most people love him. Most people love Cyclops. Most
That's
people that
true.
read the comics love Cyclops.
He's a Boy Scout of the
Yeah.
group.
But they say it's a very deep character that hadn't been gone into. So it's like they picked him for a reason because they looked in. I'm sure the filmmakers did a lot of research to say yes, he has the potential to be a very, very deep character that this character deserves. So
Right.
we just didn't see it.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see as it progresses. Once we're back into fluidity of how the world should be working.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think almost every major motion picture in production has been halted at this point.
Well, yeah.
Just 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks.
I even heard that the Tonight Show's been going on with a audience-less.
Well, it's hardly the only one.
It seems
Right.
like most shows that have audiences haven't been doing with the audiences lately,
Yeah.
including The View,
Yeah.
which I keep a close eye on.
So then you don't have a problem with Whoopi coming in to play Mother Abigail?
Whoopi needs to stay safe. That's the most important thing.
Because you're waiting for Guinan to serve you a drink.
That's one of my dream things is to have a drink with Whoopi Goldberg.
Right. So, yeah. Infectious viruses. There's tons of more films out there. We just didn't really touch on them. If you do a search, you can find a lot of them. Cabin Fever and lots of others. Yes, sir.
Can I say one last recommendation?
One last recommendation.
Mom and Dad
Mom and Dad.
with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Definitely has that feel of infection,
Right.
but it's about the thought of
All parents go crazy and it's trying to
all
show
parents
kill
go
their
crazy, but it's like based off the
kill the children that are out to replace them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like based off the swine mentality of like killing their offspring. But it was like I watched that the other day. I really loved it. Just wanted to bring it out.
It was amazing.
It was
Because this
Nicolas
is a
Cage.
Sawzall because it saws all.
It saws all.
Great credit sequence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very 70s.
It was. Yeah.
Lance Henriksen.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. Selma Blair was good in it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Any following closing words?
Stay
No.
safe out there.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay
Wash
safe.
your hands.
Wash your hands.
Sanitize.
Sing "Take Me to Church" twice.
Yeah. There's actually a lot
Or
of
just count
things
to
you can
20.
go out there.
I
yeah.
mean, you don't really have to sing.
You don't have
for
to.
20 seconds. You could just count.
But the singing's supposed to make it more fun.
I saw a meme that was like, boss, he's in his employee's in the bathroom and he's like, do you have to sing so loud? And the employee's like, well, yeah, I got to sing for 20 seconds. And the employer goes, does it have to be the the chorus for "Hurt" by Nine Inch Nails.
The one I saw was Closer.
Yeah, I saw Closer.
Yeah, I've seen both actually. Yeah, Closer's better.
Do you have to sing while washing your hands? Well, yeah. That way, I
Get it right.
got it for 20 seconds.
I'd
But you have to
proud.
be so loud. Well, yeah, I'm letting everybody else know that
Yeah.
I'm washing my hands. But does it have to be the chorus to Closer?
Yes.
Nine
Yes,
Inch
it
Nails.
does.
So we will end with everybody stay safe. Keep your social distance. Don't be hoarders. Be fair with all your other fellow humans. And we will come back next week and bring something new.
Yeah.
Everybody stay safe. And as always,
Stay scared.
Fear Central is a product of Thoughtbox Studios. For more information, visit thoughtboxstudios.com.